speak about this. Music is a language.
Correct.
Is there an end to learning and completing language?
When you put it that way, yes.
So it keeps going. And the more, like for me, my if you want to ask me what my goal is, ultimate goal, if I have to have a goal, the goal would be to sustain as a musician, number one. Be able to do this because I actually love doing it and I want to be able to do it for the rest of my life. And whatever it takes for me to sustain that goal.
Correct.
I just need to have that mental capacity to be able to do whatever, so that I can just continue playing. And I don't have an instrument specific goal, like, I want to be the best drummer, or like, I don't know if that's even a term, but if I want to be a metal drummer or this standard, what is the level or a grade? I've never thought about it. I think music is like a very holistic thing. My perception also, I think, has changed over the years, because there was a time I would consider myself as a drummer and I would identify as a drummer, like, I want to do more drum things. But now I think life has also taken a turn.
Right.
In terms of, I want to understand music a lot better than what I do right now. And I think that process will be perpetual. I don't think it has an end. So
Yeah,
I think the only goal is to keep going.
I actually expected this answer from you anyway. So because
Okay.
I remember
that's
you.
a good thing or a bad thing.
No, I remember you telling me that Macha, if I was just in my recording studio or sitting on my drops and I got a salary just like that, I would never get out of there and go, and I wouldn't want to play in front of anybody. I would just be happy doing it. Just playing, just practicing, just playing the
that's
drums.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Right?
Playing live and everything, to be honest, anything that I get out of playing is a bonus.
Right.
Like if I'm getting to play with a band, if I'm getting to meet interesting people, if I'm getting to travel places, all that's bonus. The main job, and what I'm very, very happy right now is, there's like, I've set up my house. Maybe at some point, if you end up coming to Goa, I'll show you. Set up my house in such a way that instruments are very accessible from wherever you are. If you're in your bed, you reach out and you find something to play. It could be anything, you'll find it.
Yeah.
It could be an acoustic bass, it could be a guitar, it could be like a melodica, something you'll find.
Right.
So I've set it up in such a way that, everything is kind of around. So I'm also a very indoors person. So I like being indoors doing this stuff. I don't really enjoy. I mean, I do enjoy meeting my friends and going out and stuff, but
yeah, definitely.
This is the best thing that one could ask for, and it feels like I've hit the jackpot at some level, at least as long as today is concerned.
Today is concerned. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So let's. I wanted to talk to you about your practicing this thing. So when you look at practice, right? Is there something that you want to do, which is already there theoretically, or is there something that? So, for example, if you listen to a song, you want to practice that song, or do you first practice the techniques and then get into that song?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
Mostly it's a little bit of both. Like you take a song, first I listen to a song, and if I'm trying to transcribe or cover, so of late I've been avoiding covering the song, as in listening to the song and just playing it. I've been trying to write it down in notes.
Okay.
As entirely as possible. when I'm doing that, I generally first transcribe it, first put it down on paper,
Okay.
which is itself 50% of practice, in my opinion.
Correct.
Like you understand everything you need to understand while writing it. But after writing it, if there are specific techniques I need to nail certain parts,
Okay.
I practice that separately for a while
Okay.
and then approach the song.
Okay. So
But it's a little bit of both. Sometimes I just go for the song. Like if there are certain techniques I feel it's too boring to learn by itself. So it's
right.
better to learn it as part of a song as opposed to separately, you know.
Hmm. Right.
So it's a little bit of both. Um,
So since you're actually, teaching and even playing, when you sit on a drum kit to practice, let's say you don't have a new song from your band to practice, or you don't have to compose anything, what do you usually practice? Or do you just play?
no, I don't play anymore. I haven't played in a while.
Okay.
I haven't sat on the drum set and said, okay, today is the day I'm letting loose. No, it's not happened in a while,
Okay.
unfortunately. But the thing is, it's also been a very rare time where I've had the time to sit on a drum set, and the
Mm,
first thing that comes to me is let's practice, because there is usually some work or the other that I've been playing a catch-up game of late,
mm,
because like I said, like I told you, like I haven't had all that much time to practice because of
mm,
every other thing that's going on.
mm.
But it's usually a catch up because I get songs for a gig
Right.
or I get for a session, then I need to start working on it. So I haven't had the time to practice. But
Okay.
if I do get it, which
Mm,
very rarely I do,
mm,
on Sundays usually, on Sundays at like 10 to 12, I just go to the academy here, which
mm.
is very close to my house.
Okay.
And I know Sundays are holiday for the academy. So I just get that place to myself and I just try and play as much.
Mm,
On those days, most likely I go back to basics
okay.
like paradiddles,
Mm,
six-stroke
mm,
rolls, um, single strokes, how to alternate between doubles and singles,
mm.
and I've been working on like some things here and there,
Okay.
but I've been trying to work on how to play ballads better.
Okay.
So that's like really what I'm working on right now. But that's what I end up working on. It's not I haven't had the time to actually explore. Okay, I feel like, weakness is like a degree. It's not that you're weak or strong. It's like how weak or how strong you are. Even really less strength is still strength,
Correct.
you
Correct.
know.
Yeah.
And so that way, like maybe my paradiddles are great in one tempo, but not so great in another, or things like that. So I keep going back and correcting those basics.
Exactly.
Um, I think that's helped me a lot. But most likely, I've been working on ballads um,
Okay.
of late, and thanks to Goa Jazz Academy also, that was a part of my life that I thought I wouldn't get back. That is playing jazz. Like for when we were in Sam at that
Yeah.
point, you would listen to a lot of jazz music.
Correct.
But what happens is when you move out, suddenly the gigs that you get is not that.
Correct.
So you don't get to practice that
Mm,
stuff ever.
mm.
Luckily, I'm here, and Karan, basically the director of Goa Jazz Academy, is also an extremely, really, really good jazz guitar player.
Okay.
So he also put me back on track in terms of songs. I'd forgotten about certain songs.
Mm,
We have conversations regularly saying, "You've heard that song,"
mm.
and yeah, so ballads came through that, and I'm really, really enjoying playing some ballads. I
Yeah.
never would have imagined.
Yeah. I wouldn't have imagined that too.
Same.
This was actually going to be my next question anyway, but you answered it on your own. So, like, how the shift of what you were playing in Bangalore and what you're playing now,
Right.
like, I think that's a lot, right? It's like
Yeah.
two
So I mean,
extremes.
it's become today. Yeah, yeah. Now it's a variety. Earlier it was very unidimensional, like
Hmm.
one-dimensional, but now it's a lot more explorative. That is, earlier I would play, rock and fusion music mainly because that's the only thing that goes. You don't ever listen to anything. I've never listened to a Latin band in Bangalore. Maybe that's my mistake, but I haven't. uh,
Correct.
so I get that opportunity to play it more now. But like for
Yeah.
example, with Pink Moss, I play a lot of R&B,
Okay.
neo soul,
Okay.
that, and some progressive stuff too.
Okay.
With Goa Jazz Academy, with the faculty members, like with Karan and I, for example, or with there's one more friend of mine called Akash, who's a wonderful keyboard player,
Okay.
a piano player. So we end up playing some jazz, and Karan's also a metalhead, so we end up playing some metal. I ended up playing with this really talented singer called Christian Bent.
Okay.
He was doing some country music, so I ended up playing a little bit of country music.
Okay.
Um, the only thing I haven't played since I moved to Goa is death metal.
That's
Literally, everything else has been covered for now.
yeah.
I mean, I guess I still do miss metal playing a little bit.
I'm sure, dude.
That is fun times.
Fun times. That was like a lot of years of your life playing that, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Most of my drumming life, that's all I
Drumming
did.
life. Yeah. So let's get to the financial part of it, if you don't mind. Like, I won't ask the exact things, but can you sustain yourself in Goa? You can, I know that, but can people coming to Goa
Right.
to let's say play music and make a career out of it in Goa, can they sustain themselves?
I think
One, like one thing is with teaching or without
I think
even.
I think you can. I really think you can, but it's also a little bit of a task.
Hmm.
I've just been very lucky.
Hmm.
I don't know how. I've just been really lucky. That's all I can tell you.
Okay.
But it is a little bit of it's a flip of a coin. It could go either way. So the thing is, what I've realized is if you know what you want to do,
Hmm.
like if you want to play a type of music and you really stick to your guns, and if you really want to make it work, you will make it work. But
Right.
Goa is also, to be fair to its own place, it is its main income is tourism,
Right.
right? So there are a ton of, if you want a distraction, there is whatever you need, whatever kind of distraction you need, you can pick and choose.
Correct.
There's everything.
Mhm.
So if you're going to kind of slip away into those, then I don't think it's a sustainable place to be.
Right.
All the people that I know, even Goans, local Goans who stay here, Goan musicians who are here,
Hmm.
uh, they know the boundary
Hmm.
of how to make life do with being a musician. How to manage your
Correct.
bills, how to play, how to pay for the stuff that you want to do, and how to do gigs, how to get paid, and whatever.
Hmm.
So they have an idea and they have managed it. Even for people who come from outside, the second you draw those boundaries, I think you can.
Right.
But personally, I don't think I can make a living out of just playing gigs.
Hmm.
I don't really think I can. In the sense, for my own fault or for whatever, I'm also a very picky person. Like, I'm not really open to playing everything or any gig. I'm not going to play a gig because I get it.
Okay.
I'm going to play it only because I like it. I like playing it.
Okay.
If it's not really going to sit well with me, it's not going to happen.
Correct.
With such a mindset, you can't be, strict about how you go about making your money. In whatever way you can, whatever way that your personal self promotes you or helps you or lets you do it, you do it. So for me, teaching was a nice segue because I really enjoy teaching. It also gives me that perfect balance to kind of play the gigs that I want and
Right.
be able to say no to certain gigs that I do want to
Yeah.
play. I think I would have been put in a fix if I had to just gigs all the time. I would have had to play gigs that I don't want to play. Just as a professional.
Yeah, I get it.
What do you call it? Yeah.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
what you mean. Yeah, but I think
Yeah.
then you are lucky in a way because I think Goa is much better to do both than Bangalore. Because
Yeah.
Bangalore, I don't think
In a
you
way.
do get the time to do both because
See,
of
even if you
all the
do get the
things.
time, right? Mainly traffic, man.
Yeah,
You can't
exactly.
get on this one now. Never making it to a job and a gig on time on the same day. No chance.
It's a chance.
But other than that, I think you can. See, because I do respect a lot of people that I know who are in Bangalore who are making their ends meet while playing gigs and teaching, etc.
Teaching. Hmm.
There are some people I know, and I think it's a really respectable thing to do. In fact, it's impressive that they can do it.
Hmm.
It's really impressive because I know the struggle that it kind of takes to do things like that, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, you don't have so much time for yourself. In fact, my EP, which I've been planning for God knows how
Hmm.
long, is always hanging by a thread. It's just hanging. I can't cut it off and let it, or neither can I hold on to it because there's just stuff going on all the time.
Hmm.
I mean, touch wood, it also keeps me busy and helps me. But yeah, I
Is
don't know how.
also perfectionism coming in the way of you releasing the EP?
Perhaps, and I'll fully stand by it. If that's the case, I'll fully stand by it also.
Yeah. How important do you think social media is today?
It's really important. Really, really, really important.
Okay.
But, but there's always a caveat for all of this.
Okay.
As useful social media is, it's also really useful to hone your skills actually.
Okay.
Presentation takes you only, a little bit of the way. You can present it beautifully. You
Hmm.
can present crap beautifully.
Hmm.
But that crap better be good.
Hmm.
That's the only thing. Provided all of this is considered, social media is great. In the sense, social media is not sustaining.
Hmm.
That's my 2 cents, so to speak.
Okay.
I'm not a very good social media person,
Hmm.
but I should be ideally. Like I have to be in terms of, for my own personal stuff. I'm not really good at it. In
Hmm.
fact, I'm not even very good with a camera. And Instagram and Facebook, they
Hmm.
depend on a camera.
Okay.
Uh, I don't know how to use one properly.
Hmm.
Uh, but I think social media is great in terms of, it gives you a wider reach. But it is really important to hone your skills. For example, I always take this example with all my students during
Hmm.
classes. I play them Beethoven for release because that's a tune that we have all heard at some point.
Right.
When I play it to kids, not to adults,
Hmm.
to children like 10 years old, 9
Hmm.
years old. Eventually, I play it and I say, like, what do you think about this music? What does it
Hmm.
make you feel?
Hmm.
And they're like, it's so beautiful. It's amazing.
Hmm.
And if you go tell them, this was written 400 years ago,
Hmm.
they won't believe you.
Are you kidding me?
They won't believe you.
Yeah.
They won't believe you.
Okay.
How is that even possible? Now, the thing is, the reason why Beethoven or Bach or, in fact, Indian classical stalwarts like,
Hmm.
Hindustani classical stalwarts or Japanese folk music and whatever, there are certain artists who have stood the test of time. The thing
Correct.
is, after many hundreds of years, you're still talking about them.
Right.
They're not over.
Hmm.
The reason mainly is because as much as they also had their own version of social media.
Correct.
Your and my version of social media is Instagram,
Hmm.
and their version of social media, for example, Bach was playing in the court of the king or something like that.
Right.
That is their social media. Going viral is only disease goes viral. That's why you call it a viral infection. So
Okay.
social media is really good for a reach. You
Okay.
you get to meet a lot of interesting people and spread your knowledge if you want to be as a teacher or if you want to create content. It's a
Right.
great thing, but you definitely have to make sure you put the work behind it.
Right.
You definitely have to put it because it's not very pleasant to meet one of your heroes
Hmm.
and know that that person really doesn't care about the stuff that they do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's yeah.
You can't, just putting on a show isn't enough. It's just I'm just really bad at it, so I can't really tell you so much. I mean, I have problems with social media. Like even the songs that I've written, promoting them, I do promote them. Then I eventually feel like, man, come on, how much longer?
So thank you, Siddharth, for giving us your time from your busy schedule. And I think we'll do this again sometime.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's actually been a wonderful time. It's also been so long since we met, so this is a nice way to catch up as well.
All right.